Warning, before this video begins, this video contains spoilers for Spider-Man Brand New Day. This will be a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, which let's be for real, a lot of people have already seen this movie. It made $927 million opening weekend, and that's like, geez. But if you still haven't seen the movie, go watch this video. Or, no, wait, what the hell am I saying? Save this video, go watch the movie, and then come back to this video for my spoiler review. And let's just be for real, I'm gonna be glazing Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm gonna be right on Brand New Day's day. So let's get started. Alright, so first we should probably talk about the pros of the movie. What I liked about the movie. Back to street level, baby. So it actually feels like a good Spider-Man movie. Not to say that the original Tom Holland movies were bad. Those were great. I love those. Like, I see people hating on Far From Home. It doesn't deserve the hate. It's a good movie. They were very much experimenting to see Spider-Man in Europe, no New York. And it was like one of the first movies, or I think it was the first movie after Endgame. So imagine you go from Avengers Endgame, a big movie, and then you release Spider-Man, big movie. It don't matter if it's bad. It made like $1 billion. So I think there's other people's opinion on it, but it did leave us with a big cliffhanger. The what the fuck? And here's the thing. I guess at the end of No Way Home, they set up that no more WTF ending, because in Brand New Day there was no WTF ending, which was kind of sad. Speaking of sad, this movie took the Peter Parker depressed to a whole new level. Now, I saw on X, because I have X, that people wanted a depressed Spider-Man, full depression, broke boy, no tech, no nothing, back to the streets. And I think Destin Daniel Cretton, the director of the movie, took it a little too far, because there are some scenes in this movie that feel too close to real life events that I know has happened to me, and I know people have went through that. Like MJ literally telling Peter, "I don't love you," even though Peter just confessed all of that, and MJ's like, "I don't love you. I don't even know you." Jesus fucking Christ! When she said, "I don't love you no more," holy cow! I was sitting next to Monster during the cinema, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I feel Peter's emotions right now. That's what I told him once. It was like, I literally felt this with my ex, and I was like, what the fuck? I told him once. MJ literally said the exact same words that my ex did when she broke up with me, and I was like, oh my goodness, this movie does bring the emotion out of you. And the funny part is that it also knows how to be funny, because there are some funny scenes, which is kind of ironic, because I'm pretty sure like months before the movie came out, like I'm gonna say 2 months before the movie came out, they had to do reshoots and add more comedy into the movie because it was too depressing. And yeah, we still need some comedy. We do not want a Man of Steel incident again. But this is going in my top top 3 Marvel movies, and it ain't number 3 or number 2. And Brand New Day is amazing. Also, I like the organic web. I know it doesn't really make sense, the mutation Peter goes through, which kind of does make sense. It's like, I'm pretty sure, a new concept. They based it off the man spider and like I don't know what else. But like him mutating because he's more Spider-Man than Peter Parker, amazing. And also was so funny just seeing Peter go web, as I have seen the original, every single Spider-Man movie. And also, comment down below if you want to see that video reviewing every Spider-Man movie. It's not going to take as long as the Marvel one. Trust, Marvel ranking every Marvel movie part 2 is coming out soon. Trust, I just need to calm down after the dailies on, okay? So, it was also funny to see the webs come out of him. Pause. Like, oh my goodness, it felt so weird. Like Peter's reaction to ugh. and the memes I've seen to the him just squirting out everywhere. Pause on the rooftop. Pause. It was like the memes are funny. Like POV, you're 13 and finding out not just pee comes out of there, and you just go ah. Oh my god, hilarious memes. I love the Spider-Man community. But Brand New Day takes place 4 years after, and Peter's alone, depressed, alone. Um, let's talk about the villain or the villains that appeared. So let's talk about the villains that appeared in the montage. We have Tombstone, Boomerang, Tarantula, and someone that runs into walls that's not Rhino, it's a human. Ramrod. Yeah, Ramrod, I think his name is. Did I say Scorpion? I think Scorpion I said. Scorpion appears in the. And then after that, the Hand, I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly. I gotta rewatch it again. So, those are all the villains that Peter has taken down in those 4 years. Maybe more crooks and criminals. They recreate comic covers like Final Fantasy. Not Final Fantasy. Something Fantasies #1. I forgot the comment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't read. I never read the comments. I watch the videos. But it was the first comic that the Spider-Man appeared in, him stopping someone. Also, we get introduced to Detective Jean Wolf. I think her name is Jean the Wolf. Jean the Wolf, yeah. Who is a cop in the comics who helps Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure she's a love interest to Spider-Man as well, because Spider-Man can bag anyone. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure one of the powers of Spider-Man is bagging anyone. As you know, let's count the people he's bagged. He's bagged Black Cat multiple times, MJ multiple times, some better than others, Gwen Stacy, which dies, and too much to say. Let's just say he's bagged basically everyone. So, we gotta talk about this mysterious villain, the super villain of the movie that was hinted on for so many years, months. Who was the villain? And it was gonna be played by Sadie Sink, Stranger Things cast, which is basically the third character in Marvel history to be cast after Stranger Things. So, who was Sadie Sink playing? And if you made it this far into the video without watching the movie, massive spoiler right now. Sadie Sink plays Jean Grey, X-Men in the MCU. For all this time, everyone knew it was Sadie Sink. It was Jean Grey. There was no denying that. It was gonna be Jean Grey. She had the looks for Jean Grey, the red hair, everything. But this just shows that Marvel is starting to set up the X-Men. So once they revealed it was Jean Elaine, no, not Elaine, I forgot. Jean Grey. Once they found out it was Jean Grey, I told Monse they're setting up the X-Men. But then I also started theorizing mid-theater watching. I was like, wait, so does that mean the X-Men have always been part of the MCU? So that means there's a Cyclops, there's a Wolverine. Because I saw a video, because I didn't watch She-Hulk. I mean, who watched? If you're one of the persons who watched She-Hulk, subscribe right now. If we get more than like 10 subscribers, I wouldn't be surprised, because only 10 people watched She-Hulk and like one person enjoyed it. But in She-Hulk, there's someone on the news. It says guy with claws on his hands attacks at a bar. Now, who else has claws on their arms? Wolverine. So they're setting up the X-Men, I'm telling you. And Jean Grey starts in Brand New Day. So this movie is based mostly about depression, and you should not take it alone. And how if you focus on one thing too much, it could take the things you love a lot. I don't know. The focus of the movie is bad. Basically, spider puberty, as if you see in the teasers, which, to be fair, the spider puberty parts were actually removed because I'm pretty sure it wasn't accurate to spiders. They don't mutate. They stay the same. They just grow bigger. So they removed the Spider-Man like doctor visit to the kids to not be afraid of needles, which actually is bad because it would have been a good scene. So yeah, they cut those scenes out. It would have been good to see them, but to show that Spider-Man is like a hero to everyone, shows up to like help kids not be scared of needles. But we get into the tank scene at the start of the movie, which was filmed for months, weeks, I'm pretty sure, on in like, I don't know, London, I think it was, I don't know. But the tank scene was controlled by an old lady. Now, out of nowhere, we see the old lady go whoop, and something goes into a damage control, a shield agent, whatever the fuck they are. But damage control will come into play later. So then they start jumping around people, and someone's mind controlling them. So Spider-Man is chasing them. But while they're chasing them, Spider-Man doesn't realize there are bombs on the tank. So the damage control building goes kaboom, and Scorpion, which was actually being transferred somewhere else, he actually got able to escape because someone mind controlled the helicopter and then flew away with Scorpion. Which, Jesus Christ, that was a great way to bring back Scorpion. Which actually no, was not a good way to bring back Scorpion. You wanna know why? Because once Spider-Man gets his organic webs, the big fight scene with Scorpion and Spider-Man happens, and Spider-Man cannot control his mutated side, his spider-like side. So he's like swinging around, crashing, and actually, I'm pretty sure Jean Grey, who's controlling the Scorpion right now, he nearly kills Spider-Man, but also Spider-Man beats the living crap out of him, because right as he is about to kill him, Scorpion's about to kill, or Jean Grey, it's so confusing. They're about to kill Spider-Man. Spider-Man goes full rage, crashes out, smashes Scorpion, paws to a cop car. He smashes him to a cop car. And then the cop nearly dies, and Spider-Man nearly kills Scorpion until he webs him up to a wall and he gains control back. Which, holy, that's a groove. Now, I feel like this should have been good for, like, the Venom suit story. Like, imagine, like, but, like, now I think of it, do not give Tom the symbiote suit. Although it's about to be Aura, if he did that to Scorpion, well, imagine what he can do with the symbiote suit. Nah, he's about to, like, ratio Bully Maguire. Like, Jesus Christ. Also, if you made it this far into the video, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more reviews of movies. Maybe for Doomsday when it comes out in theaters December 18th, not sponsored. So yeah. So then Peter goes to damage controls again, where they find I don't know what I just said. Let's just rephrase that. He did not go to damage control. I'm stupid. I'm retarded. Oh, I can't say that word. He goes to Dr. Banner to see if he can fix his mutated side. And then Dr. Banner tells him that how would he know what parts of the DNA is good or bad? And then he says this. Peter starts thinking of an inhibitor, kind of like Bruce has, and which contains the Hulk or Smart Hulk. So he isn't Smart Hulk all the time. Which Smart Hulk, goodbye, Smart Hulk. So I'm saying that Peter is dumb. He's smart but dumb. Why would he create more inhibitors and then give them the damage control? Because after that, he gives the inhibitors to damage control. Why? It's your tech. You don't have to do it. But second of all, these inhibitors will also come and play back in the X-Men time, when the X-Men are actually introduced in the MCU. But also, Peter makes the inhibitor, and it doesn't work most of the time. And then he finds Jean Grey into a random guy named David, not Miles Morales. He looks like Miles Morales, but Marvel in the credits show it's not Miles, it's David. Which, first of all, I'm gonna just say this: it is not, and I repeat, not a good year to be called David right now. Especially if you're black, it's not a good year to be called David right now. Cause you know why? New long form video talking about the David case coming soon. But then Jean Grey says that he's gonna find where MJ is. So then they have this long ass chase scene. Jean Grey kills someone, probably. So then there's an amazing fight or chase scene that goes on, which is again amazing. It's spectacular. So yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, the chase scene is spectacular. It's amazing. But Spider-Man finds out, or Peter finds out, that with his assistant Eve and his AI assistant, which is okay. If Spider-Man makes the tech and is not granted to him by Tony Stark, then it's fine. It shows that he's smart to make tech. But also, he could have also dumpster dived like for technology for his PCs and stuff. But with the help of Eve, he finds there's a limit of 33 feet. If Jean Grey is 33 feet like height or length of someone, they cannot teleport until she just cancels out. So she gets or Peter gets the helicopter trapped in between cranes, which actually reminds me of the teaser for Spider-Man 1 Tobey, where he made a helicopter get stuck in the middle of the Twin Towers. That teaser was then deleted because of you know what. So then Peter takes MJ, which surprisingly she's very easily manipulated to go with him, which is weird. But then while Peter's swinging, MJ isn't reacting. And if you're a Spider-Man fan of Tom Holland, you would know that MJ is scared of swinging. But here's the thing. They go on a building. So stand up. They go on a building. And then MJ realizes that Peter and her must know each other. And Peter's like, no, fuck. Peter's like, no, we don't know each other. Jesus Christ. So in that moment, MJ lifts Peter's mask up all the way to his mouth, like right here, which reminds me again of Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire, which I have a feeling this movie is mostly inspired by Tobey. No Andrew, so sorry Andrew, you weren't really that good anyways. Whoo, Monster's about to kill me. So, they share a kiss for some reason because apparently they wanted to trick the audience that all they needed to do is a true love's kiss and the spell breaks, which it breaks in a certain way. MJ remembers Peter. It's so good. They hug, Peter's crying, and then you hear MJ say, "Hold her, Peter. I know you want to." Holy shit. It was Jean Grey controlling her. And my reaction was like, I went, oh my god. Literally insane. Oh my goodness. You do not do that to someone. You do not control them. And first of all, that's technically assault of a sexual kind. Because MJ didn't give consent to kiss, and also Peter didn't also give consent to kiss, and they just lifted his mask up and then kiss. But also, it's kind of funny because in an earlier scene, while Jean Grey's reading the note and controlling like David, you can see that David is holding the note in his hands but doesn't have anything because it's Jean Grey. So I love to imagine that Jean Grey is just right there kissing the air, which would be funny as hell. But after that, Peter takes MJ to the Punisher's lair, which is funny because I haven't talked about the Punisher this whole time. Great performance, Jon Bernthal. Amazing. The Punisher's amazing. Did I hit stop record? Oh, no. Punisher's amazing. And I love that they kept him in his rated R self, but just still PG-13 area. Which would have been, couldn't have been cool to at least make him say one F-bomb. It's allowed, you can have one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie if it has nothing to do with sex, but like, you couldn't just like, said one F-bomb. Okay, so while they start talking, and then Peter finishes his inhibitor, which it works. It actually works this time. He can control his mutation style. So then, he finds Jean Grey at the damage control building. So Peter swings there. But then, by the time he gets there and he's about to stop Jean Grey, Punisher shows up. No, I think he shows up. No. He doesn't show up now. But in the damage control building, Peter finds Jean Grey. And right as he's about to put the inhibitor on her, you hear Bruce Banner come and punch the shit out of Peter. Jesus fuck? Like, and it's Smart Hulk right now, but it's being controlled by Jean Grey. But while Peter's fighting Smart Hulk, Punisher shows up and just helps by shooting because that's the only thing he's good at. But fucking Hulk breaks the floor underneath him and he falls because like he's just a human. But then in the whole time, Jean Grey is struggling to contain Hulk, what I'm saying, because she starts having headaches. So I'm saying that the Hulk was coming out, pause. So then, once Jean Grey loses control of him, Banner comes out for some reason. Which, okay, doesn't really make sense if Banner is the one in control, if he just went back because he had no inhibitor. So, then, Punisher decides to fucking shoot the Hulk. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember the movie. And then Hulk starts losing it. And then for the first time since 2012, nearly 14 years ago, I'm pretty sure 14 years ago, Hulk or Bruce Banner transforms into Hulk. And when I say when he was transforming, gave me chills. He was like, run, just run, get everyone out the building and run. He tried to control it, but you can see he's in pain. Which, Jesus Christ, I do not want Hulk powers anymore if it gets me pain. So, in that, when Peter says, Dr. Banner, are you okay? Hulk comes out with no auto-tune. It's good. If you watch the previous Marvel movies, you can hear that Hulk actually has auto-tune to make himself like weird. But then he says, no Banner, only Hulk. Holy fucking shit, I've been waiting since 2018 for this to happen again. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you, Destin, Danny, great. So, big fight scene, Hulk vs. Spider-Man. Hulk actually wins. He's about to kill Spider-Man, but Peter makes Hulk free. He says, Banner, it's me, Peter. And then Hulk reacts, so I'm just gonna say the theory that Hulk remembers Spider-Man. I don't know how. Just you listen. You just listen to me and subscribe. So Hulk gets sent to a mental facility, and then Peter gives Damage Control the weapons to deactivate powers, which he also deactivates. Jean Grey's powers, hands over to Damage Control, blah, yada, yada. This whole time, we find out Jean Grey has a sister named Sarah Grey, and she got captured by Damage Control. And then she's in a facility where she is tested on her powers until death. And the last thing she sees is something called VMAX. So that will come into play later. So Jean Grey is looking for something named VMAX, but no one knows what VMAX is. I was thinking, oh, is this gonna be the MCU's Alchemax, like from the Into the Spider-Verse movies? It could be. So Peter learns the Damage Control lies to him and is going to save Jean Grey with the help of Punisher. But then once Jean Grey is being tested on, she looks up and sees VMAX actually meant Ventmax. And then she realizes Sarah, her sister, was tested on all the way to death. And the last thing she saw, VMAX. Holy fucking shit. Oh my goodness. That gave me chills again. And actually got me emotional. I was like, oh my god. But then Spider-Man shows up in a great fight scene with the hand ninjas. But it's not the hand, it's Jean Grey, because Jean Grey actually loses it. It makes a big explosion, and most of New York is frozen and is in control of Jean Grey, including MJ and Ned. So basically, Spider-Man fights Jean Grey here with the hand, kinda, which we see a crazy web tornado. Which, oh my goodness, oh my god, that was amazing scenes. And then, but before the web tornado, Jean Grey asks Peter, is he Spider-Man or is he Peter Parker? And holy aura, he takes off his mask, takes off the inhibitor, and says both, and starts fucking aura fucking forming. Holy cow. The aura form that Tom Holland had this movie, better than Tobey, better than Andrew, I don't care. Put that on my grave. Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man. Oh my god. So then Peter allows Jean Grey to go in his memories, and Jean Grey talks to Aunt May, which is kind of good that they somehow brought a way to bring back Aunt May, but not really. It's good. So then Peter walks in and says that she doesn't have to be alone. That he can be her friend or some shit like that. Maybe a relationship, but that's the whatever. I don't know, man. Something side of me, I don't know. But then in the darkness, they see a gunshot, and Peter's spider tingles, and he grabs Jean Grey and takes a bullet to the back. And I was like, no, don't do this to me, Marvel. Don't do this to me, Marvel. Just gotta make sure it's recording. Oh my god. When I said I got a flashback to MJ, to Aunt May dying, holy shit, I had a flashbang of that. It was like 1-to-1 replica. Peter falls to the floor, Aunt May falls to the floor. Oh my god, they're both bleeding. Someone's holding them, and then they see blood on them. Holy fucking shit. Amazing. So then Punisher realizes, go. Oh fuck, I'm gonna choke. Punisher goes, Jean Grey stops the freezing time, and Punisher recreates a comic cover or panel of him carrying Spider-Man to the hospital. The comic panel is Punisher carrying Iron Spider to the hospital and says, "Get me a medic now!" Which is amazing that they recreated the comic panel. Then Peter wakes up because Jean Grey was keeping him alive. So he was controlling Peter, and Jean Grey was breathing for him. But then once he realized that Peter was breathing by himself, she let go. Good. She's a hero now. And Punisher in the hospital, he gets caught taking a nap. So if you don't know Jon Bernthal, the actor who plays Punisher, just gotta make sure how long. The actor who plays Jon Bernthal hates naps. Like he despises naps. But he's taking a nap right here. So they see a crowd outside of Spider-Man fans going, get well soon. It was amazing, heartwarming. And to get Peter to like not swing away because he's recovering, Peter goes outside in normal clothes. Punisher puts on the Spider-Man mask and just starts cheering out the fucking window. It was hilarious. Like even Jon Bernthal had to get a little smaller like this to match Peter Parker's size because Tom Holland's kind of short. But I'm not here to judge. So, end credits roll. Or before the end credits, Peter finds Ned. And because he can't get his relationship back with MJ, he tries to get his best friend back. So what do? They do the handshake they've done for multiple movies. And muscle memory kicks in, and I guess that fucking works, because he remembers him, I hope. But yeah, that's going to be all for today's spoiler review. Post-credit scene, I should talk about that before I talk about spoiler. It's just the spider tracker, which has been part of the promotion, locating Spider-Man, and then missing, and then expands into space, glitches, and then new Spider-Man location in space, which is okay, weird, but yeah. But that's gonna be all for today's spoiler review of the movie. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what was your favorite part of the movie, and also comment down below if you liked the movie. What rating do you give Spider-Man Brand New Day, and what is on your top? Is it on your top 3 Spider-Man movies or MCU movies? And with that, peace out.